Hey everybody, Happy New Year! Mark Causey here from Black Hat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. First week of the year is packed with stuff that's fun to read. First, I guess I gotta catch up a little bit from last week. This is Fantastic Four number 5. I know some of you probably picked that up last week. We were closed on Christmas vacation last week, so our guys can come in and pick this one up today. Everybody knows I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. Very excited about this. The romance of Ben and Alicia is one of the great love stories of comics. Really one of the best single issues you're going to read for a long, long time. Really, really fun stuff. That one, X-Force number 1, and Superior Spider-Man number 1. Catches you up on the very, very few things that rolled out last week. Catching up to this week. Been saying it's a great time to be an X-Men fan. This is Uncanny X-Men number 8. My man Corsair there on the cover. You're old school like me. You love the Starjammers. Really fun to see Uncanny back in action. Wolverine gets his own special one-shot. This is a previously digital, now in print edition of everyone's favorite crazy Canadian. Mr. and Mrs. X and Shatterstar round out your X stuff for the week. Infinity Wars Infinity rounds out the latest Infinity-esque series from Marvel. Always a lot going on with those crazy Infinity Stones. Everybody getting ramped up for the movie that's right around the corner. This series has been really awesome, as is everything with Adam Warlock. If you're one of the holdouts, grab that Black Cat pack for Infinity Countdown and the one for Infinity Wars. You'll be glad you did. Tony Stark Iron Man and Winter Soldier, along with Immortal Hulk, are your Avengers-esque books for the week. You know I love some Winter Soldier. I've really been enjoying this Immortal Hulk thing. If, like me, you're not traditionally a big Hulk fan, I'd encourage you to grab the 9th printing of the first issue of this one, because it's sort of a original retake on the classic character. Sort of a horror edge. Cool cover, too. Champions number 1 gets somewhat of a reboot after last week's annual wraps up the previous series. Everybody loving Miles Morales these days, and here he is with all the other millennial heroes of the week. Speaking of millennial heroes, there's your latest issue of Runaways. And Deadpool rounds out your Marvel stuff proper, but there's always more Marvel to talk about, like Star Wars Age of Republic, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can read more about this one in the newsletter this week. Really been enjoying these Age of Republic one-shots. Been encouraging you guys to check out all the cool stuff Marvel's doing with their Star Wars line, like this one, or Han Solo Imperial Cadet, taking place in the Solo movie timeline. Can't get enough Han Solo. And Conan the Barbarian comes back to Marvel Comics after many, many years at Dark Horse. He, of course, started at Marvel. This is the book that launched the Bronze Age, so it's great to see Conan coming home in a sense. Everybody loves some barbarian action. And a great week for the DC guys, too. How about Heroes in Crisis number 4? If you listen to the podcast, you know we talk about Tom King all the time because he does such an amazing job with this book, with Mr. Miracle, with Batman, with everything that says Tom King on it. This is one of the, well, DC has a lot of really huge books these days, but this is their big event book. Really, really good stuff. Don't hold out on this. Grab that first issue, look for the reprint of number 2, catch up to this week's number 4. Really, really cool stuff in that book. Action Comics from Brian Michael Bendis. Detective Comics number 995, just a couple of weeks away from issue 1000. And Wonder Woman. I love it when the Trinity all rolls out in the same week. Action, Detective, and Wonder Woman should be on everybody's list these days. 3 of the best books DC does, and that's really saying something because DC's just on fire right now. Wonder Woman's just started with a new creative team. Like I said, Detective is just a couple issues away from number 1000. Great time to be a fan of the 3 best characters in all of comics. The Flash is another long-time DC staple. You might see some Flash books I've put up here just for this week because everybody's loving the Flash these days. Doesn't need much plug because that's probably already on your list. Batgirl and Batman Beyond, taking on Old Man Joker, are your Bat books for the week. I've really been enjoying this Batman Beyond because I like anything from Dan Jurgens, one of the best comic writers ever. Justice League Odyssey and Titans are your classic Team DC books, but The Terrifics is my team book of the week. This is one of your New Age of Heroes titles. Really been enjoying Terrifics. Plastic Man, Metamorpho, Tom Strong. This one's got it all. And these New Age of Heroes books have been doing really well, like that one, like Silencer. People like all this New Age of Heroes stuff, so you've been holding out. Grab the one that looks most interesting to you because you'll probably enjoy it. Raven, Daughter of Darkness, and Old Lady Harley are your mini-series of the week. Injustice versus Masters of the Universe wraps up this week. Everybody loves seeing He-Man take on Superman. How cool is that? And for your Vertigo stuff, Books of Magic is your Sandman Universe book of the week. And Scarlet is your Bendis Jinx World book of the week. He's doing a lot more than Superman these days. He's got Pearl and Scarlet, Cover, United States versus Murder Inc. Everybody loving Brian Michael Bendis. Great week for the DC guys. A good week for all the other guys too. How about some BPRD, The Devil You Know? You know, I never missed a chance to talk up some BPRD and Mike Mignola. One of the foundation of Dark Horse Comics all these years. Olivia Twist is your Berger book of the week. Can't say enough about Karen Berger. You know, I've been talking up Hungry Ghost and Incognito, Mata Hari, now this one. Anything that says Berger Books on it is a book you're going to want to pick up and check out. It's going to be a book that's well written and has great art, and is going to be have a unique flavor from everything else on the stands. Don't miss out on Olivia Twist. Stranger Things. They just announced Season 3, and this is the comic that shows you the backstory of Season 1, that shows you everything that was going on while you were watching the other stuff. If you're a big fan of Stranger Things, like everybody is, grab these issues from Dark Horse because they're awesome. And the Umbrella Academy rounds out your Dark Horse stuff for the week. Everybody should have a bunch of Dark Horse books on their list. Go to their website, check out everything that's new this week, and add some Dark Horse stuff to your stack. The Walking Dead is the biggest book Image has, probably the biggest so-called indie comic there is. That one doesn't need much help, probably already on your list. But Low from Rick Remender is back after a long hiatus. These Image guys like their hiatuses, but I love me some Rick Remender, so I'm always looking for anything that's got his name on it. This is sort of post-apocalyptic sci-fi good times. And Die Die Die, also another one of big Image hits. They've got a million of them. Like Dark Horse, you should go to the Image website, check out the new This Week section, and check out all the huge range of things that Image has for you. Mars Attacks is one of my Dynamite books. I'm always talking up the huge range of awesome stuff that Dynamite does, like Mars Attacks or Project Superpowers. Sort of new takes on those classic Golden Age characters. If you don't know much about the Golden Age, check out some Project Superpowers because it's awesome, like everything Dynamite does. The GoBots is your IDW book of the week. If you don't know what a GoBot is, you should check this out. If you're 100 years old like I am, you love the GoBots because, you know, Transformers aren't enough. You need more giant robots. Everybody needs more giant robots. Archie, number 701. Another publisher I've really been talking up lately, and this is a great example of why. Here's Archie, the mainstay standard comic that everybody knows and loves. Everybody loves Archie, Betty, Veronica, all that good stuff. But Archie 1941 shows you a little bit of what they can do. They take their classic characters and they put them, you know, in a new situation. Archie does go all the way back to the Golden Age, so there's precedent here. And like I say, having his graduation year be 1941 just lends itself to a million stories. Another book by Mark Waid, one of my all-time favorite guys. And Jughead the Hunger shows you what they do with their horror line from Archie's Madhouse, like this, Afterlife with Archie, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Vampironica, Jughead the Hunger. Everybody should have an Archie book on their list because Archie's awesome. And for the all-ages stuff, Marvel Action, Marvel has an association with IDW to do a bunch of their all-ages stuff, like this one and Star Wars Adventures. There's going to be a Black Panther one around the corner. So there's this guy. Marvel has their own line of all-ages stuff, Marvel Superhero Adventures, which is also lots of fun. But the one I really want to get to is Scooby-Doo Team Up with Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. I was just mentioning how much we've really enjoyed the Mr. Miracle series from Tom King. Mr. Miracle is one of the best characters in all of comics. Scooby-Doo Team Up has been teaming him up with all kinds of great characters that you wouldn't expect, like Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. Pick up those trade paperbacks, pick up these single issues. No matter how old you are or what kind of reader you are, Scooby-Doo Team Up is super, super fun, one of the best all-ages books out there. Lots of great stuff this week, so check those shipping lists, get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to mention that with the new year, we got some new hours. We're open half an hour earlier. We're open at 10 o'clock here on Wednesday, so you can get in and pick up your new books a little earlier. And we're open half an hour later on Wednesday, so if you're running late at work, we're still here for you to grab your books on your way home. And change the hours on the other days. We're closed on Mondays. Check the website, black-cat-comics.com, for all the pertinent information. And welcome to a happy new year. Stay safe, stay sane. Be on the lookout for all the great things we do every year. Stay right here with the newsletter, with the weekly video, with the podcast, with all the great fun that we have here at Rockin' Milpitas. We'll keep you covered with all your comic news all year long. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.